So number 1 we have 1 and 5 and negative 5 and 3. So 1 and 5 is x sub 1 and y sub 1, and negative 5 and 3 is x sub 2 and y sub 2. So we have the formula of d square root of x sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we need to substitute. So we have d is equals to square root of negative 5 minus 1 squared plus 3 minus 5 squared. So we get the square root of negative 6 squared plus negative 2 squared. So we have 36 plus 4 squared. So 36 plus 4 is equal to square root of 40. So square root of 40 is 2 square root of 10, and we have the lowest term of 6.3246. So number 2 we have negative 2 and negative 4 and 1 and 6. So negative 2 and negative 4 is x sub 1 and y sub 1. The other side is x sub 2 and y sub 2. So we have the formula of t is equals to square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we need to substitute the given equation. So we have 1 minus negative 2 squared plus 6 minus negative 4 squared. So we get d is equals to 1 plus 2 squared plus 6 plus 4 squared. So we have a total of 9 plus 100. So we get square root of 109. So square root of 109 is equals to 10.44. So the graph is like this. So next number 3 we have negative 3 and 4 and 3 and 6. So negative 3 and 4 is x sub 1 and y sub 1, and 3 and 6 is x sub 2 and y sub 2. So again we have the formula of d is equals to square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we need to substitute the given. So we have d is equals to square root of 3 minus negative 3 plus 6 minus 4 squared. So we have square root of 3 plus 3 squared plus 2 squared. So we have 6 squared plus 2 squared is equals to square root of 36 plus 4, and we have equals to 40. So square root of 40 is equals to 2 square root of 10, or 6.32. And the graph is like this, the other side. So next number 4 we have 8 and 1 and 0 minus 5. So 8 and 1 is x sub 1 and y sub 2. So the other is x sub 2 and y sub 2. So we have the formula of d squared of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we need to substitute that in the given equation. So we have square root of 0 minus 8 squared plus negative 5 minus negative 1 squared. So we have square root of negative 8 squared plus negative 6 squared. So we get the square root of 64 plus 36. So 64 plus 36 equals to 100. So square root of 100 is equals to 10, and the graph will be like this. So next number 5 we have 1 and 3 over 2, and the other is negative 7 and negative 5 over 2. So 1 and 3 over 2 is x sub 1 and y sub 1, and the other is x sub 2 and y sub 2. So we have the formula of d is equals to square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we have to substitute that. So we have the equation of d square root of negative 7 minus 1 squared plus negative 5 over 2 minus 3 over 2. So we have the square root of negative 8 squared plus negative 4 squared. So we get the 64 plus 16. So 64 plus 16 is equals to square root of 80. So we get the d is equals to 4 square root of, and the graph is like this. So next, number 6, we have negative 2 over 3 and negative 3 over 4, and the other 5 and negative 5 over 2. So that will be our x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2. So we have the formula of d is equals to square root of x squared minus x sub 1 x sub 2 rather minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we have the equation of d is equals to square root of 5 minus negative 2 over 3 squared plus negative 5 over 2 minus negative 3 over 4 squared. So we get the square root of 289 over 9 plus 1 9. So we have the square root of 290 over 9. So square root of that will be 2. So square root of that is 290 over 3 is equals to 1/3 square root of 290, and the graph will be like this. So next, number 9, show the points of 4 and 5 and 1 and 1 and negative 2 and 5 are the verticals of an isosceles triangle. Find the area. So first, x sub 1 is equals to 4, x sub 2 is equals to 1, x sub 3 is equals to negative 2, and y sub 1 is equals to 5, and y sub 2 is equals to 1, and y sub 3 is equals to 5. So we have the formula of area is equals to 1/2 times x sub 1 y sub 2 plus x sub 2 y sub 3 plus x sub 3 y sub 1 minus x sub 1 y sub 3 minus x sub 2 y sub 1 x sub 3 and y sub 2. So we have area of 1/2 times 4 times 1 plus 1 and 5 plus negative 2 and 5 minus 4 and 5 minus 1 and 5 minus negative 2 and 1. So a is equals 1/2 times 4 plus 5 minus 10 minus 20 minus 5 plus 2. So we get the 9 minus 30 minus 3. So we have area is equals to 1/2 times 9 minus 33. So we have 1/2 times 24. So a is equals to 24 over 2. So 24 divided is equals to 12. So we have the area of 2 squared units. So the graph is like this. Next, show that the point of negative 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and negative 3 and 6 are the verticals of a right triangle. Find the area. So x sub 1 is equals to negative 1 and x sub 2 is equals to 2, x sub 3 is equals to negative 3, and y sub 1 is equals to negative 2, and y sub 2 is equals to 1, and y sub 3 is equals to 6. So area minus 1/2 times x sub 1 y sub 2 plus x sub 2 y sub 3 plus x sub 3 y sub 1 minus x sub 1 y sub 3 minus x sub 2 y sub 1 minus x sub 3 y sub 2. So we have the equation of, we have to substitute that, and we have area of 1/2 times -1 and 1 plus 2 and 6 plus -3 minus -2 minus -1 and 6 minus 2 and -2 and minus 3 and 1. So a is equals to 1/2 minus 1 plus 12 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3. So we get 30. So a is equals to 1/2 times 30. So we have 3/2. So 30 divided 2 is equals to 15. So we have 15 squared per units.